Hey, welcome to AWE 2020. My name is Ashton Addington. I'm a director of TechNet Immersive, as you can see below. I'm here today to run the track for alternative AR and joined by, an amazing host of people across the afternoon. Obviously, a special shout out to all of our sponsors, those titanium sponsors being across HP, Microsoft, Qualcomm, and Unity. And also a massive thank you to our gold sponsor, Plug XR. Today we're going to kick off our initial conversations with David Fattal, and from here we shall get straight into things. David being an inspiration in Silicon Valley, and somebody that has really pushed forward Lightfield display technology across numerous spaces such as mobile, retail, automotive, education, medical, and beyond. So over to David.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to thank first thank the organizers for inviting me to this beautiful virtual conference. My name is David Fattal with Leia Inc. And I'm really here today to talk about the evolution of the visual medium. If we think back to the old days of the black and white TV and what color added in terms of life to the image, a little bit later on what the internet brought in terms of connectivity and ability to broadcast oneself. Perhaps the next step would be the interaction with the digital world provided by the touchscreen and the iPhone. And I think there's going to be a little argument in this conference that the next evolution of the visual medium is going to be immersion, right? Providing an immersive feel to the digital world. The question is, what's the best way actually of achieving that goal? So I'm going to argue today that the right medium is the so-called light field, right? And the light field is, we're going to go into the technical detail a little bit later, but from a user's perspective, a light field is a visual medium that lets user experience a comfortable sensation of depth for the content, but perhaps more importantly, a feeling for materials and textures, the rendering of complex light effects such as the sparkle of a diamond or highlights. And the important point is you can do all this, sure, on a headset, but also it's able to provide that sense of immersion on regular devices such as a cell phone or a tablet, so not necessarily head-mounted, okay? So my company, Leia, is today the leading provider of light field hardware and content services. It's very important to us also to promote what the light field interactions are about. We think that light field shouldn't be a passive experience that you experience on your couch necessarily on a TV, but it's all about interacting with the digital world, the sensation that, controlling that 3D environment at the tip of your fingers and provoking this emotional reaction. And precisely our core mission, in our company is to connect people emotionally to the digital world. So on here, you can see a footage of it's just a picture that was taken with a hydrogen phone that features Leia's technology. And it's a static picture that is taken from different point of view. And you can see how the image sparkles and provokes a very strong reaction from the audience. Right? And again, there is no tracking. There is nothing special about it. It's just a regular light field image that is essentially able to send different amount of light in different direction of space and updating the point of view slightly as you are actually experiencing it. And this is on an old regular cell phone. So there's been, different ways to achieving a light field effect. Light field just means that you can send different images in different direction of space, naturally from a display. The two traditional methods are parallax barrier and lenticular. They each have their advantage and flaws. And I don't have time really to get into all of that today, but what we bring at our company is a fundamentally new way to render these dynamic light field images, and with a technology that we call diffractive light field backlighting. And it's essentially a second illumination system of a regular LCD display, a second backlight that is transparent. and is able to scatter light that is coming from an edge-emitting LED powering the backlight. The light is going to be extracted into a myriad of different directional light rays. Each of these light rays is going to be in turn modulated by a given LCD pixel. And therefore, we can create a dynamic light field. Essentially, each pixel is going to be directional, and it's going to control the amount of light that goes into a very precise direction of space. On this video here that is playing, we partially define the backlight to create a static image. And you can see the degree of angular resolution that we have with our technique. This logo here is sending 90 different images between plus 45 and minus 45 degree. And you can see it's completely transparent. So if you add the LCD on top and you make a fully covered, let's say, backlight in terms of pixel, you're going to be able to generate any image that you want in color. The fact that this backlight is transparent is very important because I can put underneath a second, what we call the regular 2D backlight, which is going to be able to provide a normal operation of the display at full resolution, full brightness. So our system is inherently switchable between a light field mode and a completely pristine 2D mode. It's very important because when we're on a cell phone or a tablet, most of the time we just want to read an email or read the news. The text has to be high resolution. We want to be able to run all of our favorite apps and content, in the normal way, and just having the option to turn on a light field. And this is really what we're bringing to the table here. Interestingly, also, we have a novel method of mass manufacturing these nanostructures that are going into our special backlights. And they are done in a special facility in China. And it's really akin to printing dollar bills in a sense. It's a big roll that is printing on gigantic piece of glass, therefore reducing the cost of this nanotechnology to a couple of dollars when it usually takes thousands of dollars to make an eyepiece. So breakthrough in design and breakthrough in manufacturing techniques, really. So where can we use this for? How do we deploy this light field medium? If you look at the scape of the mobile industry in 2020, there's three things very interesting that are happening. The first one is every cell phone this year is going to have depth cameras, right? So whether it's a ToF sensor, whether it's a multi-point of view camera able to compute a disparity map, every picture and every video that you're going to take from a cell phone, this year and thereafter is going to have a depth map embedded. And the question is, how do you make the best use of that depth map, right? Okay, you can blur the background, you can do some kind of nice effects of parallax, on the 2D screen, but really, the point here is that being able to show depth on a light field screen is going to give it all the dimension and the attention it deserves. And of course, we have 5G and very powerful mobile GPUs able to process, a lot of images, a lot of pixels in real time on a display. And all of this, the combination of the depth camera, the 5G mobile GPUs is going to allow very new applications such as immersive augmented reality on a phone or on a tablet without actually having a headset directly on a mobile chip. Going to provide another dimension of mobile gaming. Is going to allow the social sharing of 3D pictures and videos. And last but not least, being able to hold a conversation in a quote unquote holographic way or with depth and immersion. So those are incredibly exciting prospects for the consumer landscape. In order to actually help people create content for the platform, our company has also released a complete content platform called Leia Loft, which includes an app store for distribution. It includes an SDK for 3D engine integration, such as Unity and Maya, and working on Unreal and so on. Also together with a native Android, essentially SDK. This makes it very easy for people, gamers, developers to, number one, repurpose the apps that they have already created for the Android environment. and number two, to create new content very, very easily with these tools. Perhaps even more excitingly, we have developed a full computer vision-based platform for photo and video processing with many different features that are going to be made available to the community, such as the ability to take a stereo side-by-side, 3D, let's say, a linear content, and generating new points of view adequate for the Lightfield display directly on device in real time. So all you have to do to watch a Lightfield movie is going to be stream the 3D and then let the device handle the multi-view conversion. There are things such as filters, image filters that are going to use the depth information of the image and the depth capability of the display to doing all kind of image processing, such as style transfer, remove the color in the back, color pop, and so on and so forth, which are going to be an incredible experience in terms of the 3D photography. One that I like to highlight in particular is the ability to take to the 2D picture, such as this one of the Machu Picchu that I just Googled. We have a very powerful 2D to 3D neural network now running on device way under a second, can create a depth map. It can hallucinate a depth map because it just does this from the 2D image. From the depth map, we can then do all kind of things. Of course, generate new points of view, which translate into new parallax, which is cool in its own right, even on a 2D screen. But I will assure you, on a Lightfield display, looks completely immersive and really gorgeous. And of course, once you have a depth map, you can do other treatment, such as having synthetic depths of field. So here I'm actually having a rolling synthetic depth of field effect, to highlight certain point of the image. Or I can even remove the color in part of the picture again to create some kind of stunning visuals. And all of this image processing, is going to allow users to take any of their picture, their favorite picture, the family picture from 10 years ago, and translate it into a Lightfield experience on our devices. The primary place to share this creation, it already exists. It's called HoloPix. It's a 3D picture sharing platform that we developed for the hydrogen phone, and that is going to go live soon, actually on other platforms. This is going to be the primary place really to share these 3D pictures and experiences, and we're incredibly excited about the prospect and the enjoyment it's going to procure to people. So if we look at other verticals where this Lightfield medium is going to be incredibly useful, let's talk about automotive for a second. Our company is currently partnering with the German Tier 1 Continental. We have an extensive plan to equip a car starting 2022 with the Lightfield display technology, not only in the instrument cluster, but also in the central stack and even the heads-up display. And in addition to just providing the technology to bring Lightfield in the car, we're also providing a whole content platform. Number one, to ensure apps that will increase the comfort and safety of the driver, such as pop-out alerts or 360 view for the park assist, giving you situational awareness, better situational awareness of navigation with 3D maps. And in the near future, also, as the car is going to become a hub of entertainment and productivity, just bring the full mobile content experience to the car. Last but not least, I want to announce that this year, Leia is going to be selling a tablet, mostly for B2B, for commercial activity, but anybody will be able to buy this on our website as well. The purpose of the tablet is to help businesses integrate Lightfield interaction in their own businesses and to their own customers, looking at 3 verticals in particular. Education. We know in this time and age how important online education is and how important it is to keep the kids engaged and enhance the retention when they don't actually have the physical contact of the teacher. Offering new gamification possibilities, All of this in the comfort of a tablet or a phone where, you know, the interactions are familiar and the storytelling is familiar. In terms of retail, obviously, we have developed new ways also to shoot content. You hear us Lightfield recording of a diamond showing all the richness of the sparkles and the light effects. This video looks gorgeous on the display, by the way. And they're going to allow people to enhance the in-store digital experience, deal with, let's say, inventory management, being able to show some goods that are not carried by the store, yet want to be presented to the customer as a rich experience. And of course, advertising and e-commerce. And the third vertical that's going to benefit from this Lightfield platform is healthcare, where 3D visualization is becoming the norm, but also in terms of medical training, surgical planning, or patient-physician communication. And our company is engaged in all of these verticals. We're seeing tremendous traction. There's great excitement about that Lightfield platform, and really we invite anybody in this conference to come and see us. If you have use case for a tablet in your own business, we're really happy to talk. So in terms of product roadmap, what it looks like is we're essentially going from small to large. We had a cell phone product last year that we keep upgrading. This year is a tablet display product as well as a physical tablet. Next year, 2021, we look into larger formats, maybe for laptops. And 2022 is about larger 12.3-inch screen for automotive. And perhaps one day we'll get into TVs and so on, but really we're keeping it at a level where you can interact with the content. So on this roadmap, again, I'd like to thank you for the invitation, and I invite you to ask any question that you have at this point.
Hey, is it David?
Yes, I tried to wear the same shirt so that not to be confusing.
How's it going, my friend? All good?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Just staying at home in California. Yep.
Indeed. I'm very grateful, that we're able to be here today for obvious reasons with the event, not taking place live and having the option to do this. I'm going to fire into some quick Q&A questions. Obviously, it's 5 minutes, so obviously want to take advantage of that in the best way possible.
Sure.
And so I'll fire away straight away. And again, thanks for the chat. It was amazing and a great insight into everything later. So I guess, and the first question that's sort of posed in the chat is, what industry is adopting this technology the most right now, and why do you feel so?
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one of the verticals would be education, right? Education used to be traditionally very popular in Asia. We know families spend, tons of money for their kids. Not so much in the West, but obviously given the current situation is changing. I have 2 kids at home myself. I used to ban any form of screen or TV, and I'm the first one to have changed my mind. So I can see how the consumer behavior is going to shift. So I would pick definitely education, increase the engagement of the kid, the retention, promote positive feelings about learning and the learned material. I think there's much to bet that's going to be the horse that's taking us to the winning spot. So
amazing and great to hear. Obviously very important matter, and kind of a very important user case, so to speak. And I guess kind of looking into the future of Lightfield display, and you obviously put up a fantastic roadmap of where you see layer in the next 2, 3, potentially 4 years, but going above and beyond that, where do you see the future of the technology?
Yeah, I think the potential is huge. Specifically, I would say when you have the ability to kind of switch your Lightfield into the regular display so that you don't lose anything, which I think is a key characteristic. I think it literally has the potential to replace any display in any industry, just again because you're not giving up any characteristic, any ability to do anything. You run your apps, you run your content, you see your movies, and then you have the ability to just elevate the experience. So really the goal here is to replace all of the displays, but not only that, it's also about the ecosystem, the content, and really thinking about this as the next generation medium. I think, as I said in the talk, This is akin to moving from the radio to the visual medium and from black and white to color. This is really about bringing the immersion in the right way to everybody in a comfortable and natural way.
And I have to say, personally, it's a very exciting topic for the automotive industry. I guess there's many ways that can be adopted, or user cases for cars on the road, or racing cars, or whichever form that is adopted. When it comes to the adoption of the technology, what struggles do you face with the educational side of explaining to potential clients or customers why they should adopt the technology?
Yeah, it's the usual chicken and egg of who is there first, the hardware or the content. I mean, this is in a sense much easier than what the headset guys had to do, because we're phone and tablet based right now. So there's already a familiarity with the technology, with the way of interacting. So it's really about upgrading that experience versus just shifting the whole paradigm of how you're going to tell a story or interact with the content. So in that sense, it's a little bit easier. This being said, we have we're lucky that this is a graphical technology, right? So you have to show up, though. We have to, give tablets and phones to people in order to experience. You won't see it on a normal screen. But cool. I think the moment people are looking at the device, they pretty much understand the value proposition without having to kind of do too much explaining. Then it's really up to us to seed the vertical with enough relevant content. We have a very strong content team now that is dedicated, night and day. They're producing that type of content that's going to make us very competitive in the education space. We'll be able to provide full curriculum of some of the, let's say physics, chemistry, and biology. Where we're starting there for a variety of ages, and then of course is the once the pump is primed, then it will take care of itself. So.
Okay, amazing. And final question before we need to close down for the day, and potentially more of a personal question for myself. I mean, obviously, from watching the videos and seeing the photos, the technology is immense. It's nothing short of amazing. So congratulations for all the work for yourself and your team. How would people actually be able to go and visually see this, physically in front of themselves? Obviously would be something I'm very excited to do, and I guess potentially a lot of the audience. So it would be good to know.
Yeah, we're going to be selling our tablet online, in a pretty short timeline. We haven't announced the exact date, but it's probably going to be sometime in the summer. So people are going to be able to go and get a tablet for themselves. Obviously, we still have the hydrogen phone, out there. It was a very early version of the display. I think it was designed in 2017, but still, very effective at kind of understanding what Lightfield can do, albeit in a smaller format. So I think people are going to be enjoying the tablet a lot more. The feedback that we've been having so far is like, wow, we like this, but we love this, just fully immersion. So I'm kind of looking forward to putting this in the hand of a lot of people.
Yeah, indeed. Very exciting. And, again, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. If there's anything more that, we can do, then let us know. And thank you so much for being on board.
No, pleasure was mine. Thanks again for inviting me here.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.